Welcome back in to another preview, and this time we turn our sights to the boys side of things as we take a look at the upcoming basketball season. A girls preview did go up earlier as the Waverly Shell Rock girls basketball program, who we took a look at earlier today. You can find that at Taylor from Kway on Twitter. That's my Twitter handle. Also, it was retweeted by the Kway Waverly Station Twitter handle as well. If you did not see that, go check that one out as well. But for right now, we're going to take a look at the Waverly Shell Rock boys team. Going to take a look at what I think they are capable of this winter, and you know where their strengths are, where maybe their weaknesses are just a little bit, I've got some notes in front of me. You may see me look down from time to time just to sort of reference those, just FYI. But this is a very interesting season upcoming for Waverly Shell Rock on the boys' side of things. They're coming off another state run. You know, they finished 4th at state last year, 19-8, the final record. And a lot of people, you know, not just around Waverly, not just in the conference, but you know, some people sort of statewide, some statewide names and people that pay attention to basketball thought that was maybe Coach Steggy's best coaching performance last year, is getting that team to state, and not only getting them to state, but winning a game at state. And you know, look, I don't know if that was the best that Coach Steggy has done. What I do know is Coach Steggy is a fantastic coach, and that is an incredibly big key for this Waverly Shell Rock squad, because there are a lot of teams that don't have the type of coach that is nearly the level that Coach Steggy is at, and it's so helpful in so many different spots throughout a season when you can look to a guy like Coach Steggy and just have confidence. He knows what he's talking about. He knows, he's going to put you in the right spot. You know that he's going to run the right play, whatever the case may be. Now, maybe in practice when he's running you, maybe he's not your favorite guy, but in game, even when you're practicing, when you're getting prepared, it must be such a cool thing as a player to know that you've got a guy like that leading the way. Now, taking a look at the roster itself, you lose a lot of seniors. This Go Hawk squad loses a number of seniors, including Jack Seward, Jacob By, Braden Holmquist, Jordan Downing, among others. And some of those obviously played big roles. Seward averaged over 10 points a game last year, 7.9 for Jacob By, a big body in the middle that you lose now. And Braden Holmquist, another senior, 6.3 points a game for him. He also led the way in assists last year. I mean, you lose some players that are key players. And so the question then becomes, who on this team now steps up to take over those key spots, not only as the stars, but who are going to be some of the lesser known guys who are going to jump into the fray and maybe take over. Maybe it's just a fringe type role, just a role players type role, if you will. Maybe it's jump all the way up, be the star, and there's probably a name or two of guys that I don't know, that maybe you don't know, that are going to be asked to jump up and take on a big role like that and be a star. But some of the guys coming back that we do know, maybe most notably, Luke Velke. I mean, what a luxury it is to have a kid like that coming back to your squad. There are very few teams, even at the 3A level, that have a Luke Velke type player that they can bring back this year. It just doesn't happen very often at all. And the Go Hawks do get Luke Beck, a guy that can obviously handle the ball extremely well. A guy that can score the rock, which is going to be important on this squad. He did lead the team with 12.4 points per game last year. Has shot 35% from downtown, 35 for 100. Pretty easy math there. He'll be a key on this team. Got to imagine a lot of plays will be set up for Luke Velke this year. Another key this year is Mosai Newsom. He's a senior. He's a big body underneath, and he's going to be absolutely vital for this Go Hawk squad. And here's why. Look, he's 6'4", 6'5", and athletic. That's the key. teams, even at the 3A level, would love, hey, give me a 6'4" kid, give me a 6'5" kid that I can throw in the middle. Doesn't have to be athletic, doesn't have to know what he's doing, just give me that body that I can work with. Mosai is that big body, but he also is a dang good athlete. And that's going to go a long way for the Go Hawks. And he can score a little bit too. Averaged 8.4 points a game. That's going to need to tick up. Same with Luke Velke. He averaged 12.4. I think that's got to be up there closer to, in the 15, maybe even a little bit higher for Luke. I think Mo's got to be up over 10 points a game this year as well. In fact, I think it's more vital that Mo is up into double figures this year than it is for Velke to be up higher than where he was last year. And I think Newsome down low, both offensively and defensively. I think that's just such a huge key for what the Go Hawks are going to be able to do this year. If he's as successful as I think he can be, shoot, this team can go a long, long ways. If he struggles down there, being kind of the guy down in the paint, that could prove problematic for this Go Hawks squad, who, of course, have a ton of tough teams that they're going to run into this year. Stecky does not schedule weak cupcakes game in and game out. He's playing some tough teams. And this Waverly Shell Rock team, they will be battle-tested by the end of things, no doubt about it. But Mosai, as I mentioned, probably going to be needing to average about 10 points a game, maybe more than that. It needs to be in double figures. Averaged about 5 rebounds a game. Like to see that up a little bit as well. But those two are kind of the big names back. I think they're going to have to carry a lot of the load. But another name to keep in mind, sort of that third scorer type, is Trey Angel, another senior. And he's a guy that hit some threes last year for him. 15 three-pointers on the year, 15 of 36. I think if he can be that kid, out around the perimeter, is knocking down jumpers, that opens everything up for Mo. It opens a ton of stuff up for Luke as well. I think if Trey can be that third guy, and if he can hit Treys, I think that could be a really, really good deal for Waverly Shell Rock. Now, they are a team that's always played extremely good defense. They're going to do that again. I think any team that Coach Steggy's coaching, if they have, a bunch of guys who've never played the game before, I can tell you, they're going to defend. I think, you don't have to worry about that too much. See, with the girls, I thought that scoring probably would not be something you need to worry about. Here on the boys' side, kind of thing. Now, they've got guys that can score, but getting them to do that and finding ways for them to score, I think, is going to be vital. I don't think that they can't score. In fact, I think that they all very much can indeed score, but I think they're going to need to. I think scoring will be much bigger of a factor for the boys than it was for the girls. So we'll see. I'm taking a look at some numbers that Waverly Shell Rock put up last year. They were pretty close as far as assists to turnovers. Turnovers just slightly more. Maybe bring that down. If you can get that ratio 1-to-1, even assists up a little bit, you're going to be looking pretty good. Most high school teams are turning the ball over more than they're assisting. So that's actually not a terrible ratio. Of course, you ask a coach or a player, they're going to tell you they want it more on the assist side of things, obviously. Now, they averaged 23.5 rebounds per game. You lose Jacob Bai. You had Bai and Mo last year. That's one thing to keep in mind. And some other guys that could rebound as well. Jake led the team with 5 rebounds. Luke was third, in fact, and Brain Holmquist pulled down 2.5 as well. Not too bad out of him. So, do I think that number is going to go down a whole lot? I don't. If it can go up, if it can go up because you're playing such good defense, there's a lot of defensive rebounds available, and you can go get more. I think that would be fantastic. Interestingly, last year they scored pretty evenly throughout. From first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter is basically the same all the way throughout. That is an excellent sign. That means you're not losing all your energy right at the start. You're not starting super slow and then having to come on late. You're solid all the way through. If you can do that again this year, that would be key. And they beat opponents by 5.9 points per game on average last year. That's kind of tight. It's fairly tight. It tells me they had a good number of tight games. Obviously, you'd like to win more. You like that to go up just a little bit. But whenever you're beating opponents, that's the key. You don't really care too much if it's by 1 or if it's by 50. Now, this Go Hawks team, what can they do? That's the next question. What can they do this year? They're going to have a good season. They're going to have a good season. There's no doubt they're going to be challenging for a conference title. There's no doubt in my mind. I think it's going to be tough, game in, game out. They're going to be playing some really, really tough teams. I don't think they're going to go 19-8. I think 15 to 17 wins may be where they're at. That doesn't necessarily mean that they're a worse team, but I do think that they fall down just a little bit. I'm thinking 15 to 17. If they can get to 19 again, obviously that would be ideal. If you saw the first video that I did, I told you the one my grading scale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, depending on what type of team I think they could be. 1 being a title contender, 2 a state contender, 3 a team that's looking to make a push, making a little run in the postseason, and 4 a rebuilding team. I've got this Waverly Shellrock boys team as a state contender, but bordering on a team that's going to need a run to get to state, as opposed to just assuming that, saying needing to be at the state tournament. I don't know. They're right on that border. I'm going to edge them into the 2. I'll give them a 2. I think they're a team that would expect to be at the state tournament. I'm not quite sold here early on, before the season's even started, before practice has even started. I'm not necessarily sold that the team talent-wise is as good as they were. Can they be? Yes. Hopefully I'm a little bit wrong on that. We'll see. We'll see how things go. Remember, you can see a lot of the you can hear a lot of the Go Hawks games on K-Way. Matt Ray has the call of a number of those. Stay tuned to K-Way. We'll let you know exactly which ones Matt will have the call of throughout the season. It'll be a number of them. Should be a really fun season. I'm looking forward to it. Of course, we've got more previews to do. We'll get you 2 each for the next week or 2 as well. We'll have 2 more for you, another boys team, another girls team tomorrow. So make sure you look out for that. That's going to do it for me this time. Until next time, I'm Taylor Nitz. Okay, bye.